got himself a Lazy God Eggs. Got to be first up versus Walmart PJs. Got himself a big dark pack immediately as soon as the Feral Druid approaches. And Lazy using that incarnation to immediately prowl back into stealth. Got himself an opener stun onto the main pet, but it's going to be Demon Dog charging in with the Obelisk. Second stun with a full Tyrant. If he can keep Lazy out in the open here, Lazy could be in big trouble. Try to stay on Walmart as best as he can. Trying to maybe go behind the pillar around the bed, but the pets are surrounding you. Barsket, that's going to be a renewal. Needs to get himself a bit of a reset if possible. Walmart trying to stay literally in his face as best as they can. Sorry for shifting the camera all over the place. Trying to go for a stun. Kind of sort of veered in his direction though. Not bad. Dally, you may want to back up. I know you will probably go next, but you may want to back up. Otherwise, you're going to get hit in the crossfire with Walmart PJs. Trying to see if you can blast out all this foul and demonic destruction upon Lazy. Does the man got himself a little bit of wall axe sauce on a Lazy? Does the man go down here? Going to be Demon Dog is charging in. Lazy could be in trouble, but this trying to see if he can take advantage of Walmart PJs being low. Got him interrupted, I think, on Shadow. Hand to go down still available. Walmart with the mobility. Got him so dark back. That's going to give him a little bit of survivability. Mortar Coil, letting him live just a little bit longer. Trinket to follow right after versus Lazy. Is it going to be enough damage, however? Lazy with a Trinket, trying to see if he can back up out of there for a second with a regrowth. Walmart got himself another Warlock Hellstone, does get himself a little bit of recovery, so maybe that can even out the odds here a little bit. Slow on to the Feral Druid, trying to back up out of there. Feral leaping right on top of him. Walmart swinging around the corner with a hand to go down. Maybe both of them are super low. Wait, oh, the big Demon Doggos do come in, and the dude join in. Them Demon Doggo build for Warlocks is not to be sneezed at. I mean, that thing could, those dogs can just randomly like, huh? And bite you really, really hard. The dread bite, there's always a chance that three of those dogs can just randomly dread bite you. That is a lot of damage, plus they do consistent output. If you're not careful with the damage of the Demon Dogs, especially on your health, if they just randomly get a bunch of back-to-back bites, you're dead. I mean, it could be just done for the count and stunned to Panda for life. As is going to be massive port. Oh my god, he went to like the weird spot of the arena. Weird spot behind the tombstone. Planned that ahead of time. Going to be a steel trap down for Zeded. Try to see if he can maybe coax Panda in there. It's going to be quite a bit of dot damage rolling onto the monk though. As Zeded getting hit with Alexium. Going to be Panda trying to take advantage of the opportunity as the monk, as the hunter is close enough. Got himself full damage buffs. All the damage at the ready. Trying to see if he can fist of fury him. But that charge trap is going to stop him. Freezing trap stops his approach. Even though he's surrounded by Zuen and images, Zeded has enough of a hunter's precision to make sure he's placing the trap right where Panda is going to be. That is perfectly set up. As Panda does back up behind the pillar. For Zeded, that pillar position is actually so brutal because you really have to get close to Panda. That means Panda doesn't have to use mobility to close the gap with you at all. Binding Shadow to Panda for just a second. Is just trying to see if he can maybe take down Zeded. Zeded is getting quite a bit of damage on the Panda. The Panda may need even more defenses. The man may be going down. That's going to be kill shot already. Stunned. Doesn't have an answer for it. Trinket onto Karma on the bed. He literally Karma'd the main pet of Zeded. At least trying to do whatever he can just to survive. Soothing, as well as maybe Vivify. Trying to reposition, but maybe in a bad spot. If Zeded catches it with yet another stun, I think it may be over. As the Hunter got a lot of damage. This man, I think, was not expecting for the Hunter to have this much output. It's going to be still trap stopping in place for just a second. In-cap does not last long at all. Harpoon, as you're trying to roll out of it, it's going to be, he just has full control of you. Either with steel traps to stop you in place, star traps to slow your approach, and harpoons to pin you in a singular spot. I mean, doesn't give you much of a chance at all. Dally going to be up next. Get a shot onto Zeded. I don't like the way you started because you're supposed to start way over there where our Valor represented Reverence are at. But what can you really do, right? Cloak shots by the rogue really early as the dead got a full binding shot on the guy. If he goes late, then the cloak would not be able to prevent that stun because it is technically a magical stun with a binding shot. I don't even know how really. Death Chakram, getting the rogue out in the open. Kill shots are gonna not be great for him. Grenade does hit him on the side instead of the front, so he's not able to dodge it. That's going to be Dally putting his back to the dead. Not a great spot to be in. Don't give your back to the Hunter, especially if you got evasion, as the man goes in with a big kill shot. And you are one of those red-eyed blood elves, so you're like an undead blood elf. And he just puts a stake through your heart. Just blasting you out. Reverence right next. That's going to be a quick trick out of the dead. Quick interrupt on that Soulfire. Chaos Ball does smack down the dead. Does quite a bit of damage though. That's going to be Zeded trying to get a bit of counter-aggressive. Going to be reflected up for Reverence in case the Freezing Trap is about to meet him. Biting Shot. Can't really stop it. That's going to be Zeded charging out towards Reverence for a second. Does get a stun onto the main pet, but not stun onto Zeded. Zeded diving into a feint death just to avoid the fear for just a quick second. trying to see if he can control the pet. That's going to be a steel trap on the pet, trying to separate away from Reverence. Reverence with the bonds of fell is dead. Is going to probably walk out with the bonds with the turtle. Is able to at least deny the damage. I imagine that the bonds of fell once it's on it, even if you turtle and still will do damage. That's going to be Reverence. And oh my god, blasted out so dead. The man has no help whatsoever. Try to get a little bit of healing, but that succubus is not going to let you play the game at all. I think it may be over. That dot, that fell singe is just going to be rotting right through you, just burning right through you. In Daddy Suit, again, we got another rogue just walking in the middle of the arena. Now, we're not starting at the start. I'm not a big fan of that. But Reverence is going to have to go from the Hunter into the Rogue. Big damage on the Rogue immediately. Dark Pact is the only thing that's keeping Reverence alive. Got plenty of mobility. Needs to get a slow into Daddy Suit at some point. Does get the Succubus kind of pulling him away off of the Warlock with a wall. Trying to see if he can maybe tank up. But the dots, the bleeds, the poisons out of the Rogue are going to be enough to set Reverence over the edge. Quick blind to Val. Bass is starting to ramp up a little bit of that holy power, but Dadasu just isn't ready to fight him just yet. Wants to go for a full reset. These rogues and dots, man, they're just gonna melt right through you. Warlocks are generally tanky, but one stabby boy could just rot it down into the dirt if you don't get too many cooldowns, or if you're not like prepped and ready for him with all the succubus. You see mad damage on the Daddy Suit. I think just goes down. She does the only thing keeping him alive, but does he still die anyway? Big AoE by Val. It looks like Daddy Suit does go in for a stab out of stealth, which takes him out of that vanish. I think if he just vanished without attacking Val, he would have been okay. He may have been able to escape. Big damage out of Last Voker. Trying to go for a big deep breath versus Val. Can he get the damage in? He's just trying to get the dots up. With that deep breath. Disintegrate, potentially big damage out of disintegrate though, could be pretty deadly. Just beaming him down, and that's going to be a bubble out of the paladin. Look at you, maybe get some damage versus Lath. Lath looking for a bit of recovery. The shroud is gone, so he could be get hit by blinds and stuns. Trying to go for a bit of a deep breath. Val's going to try to see if he can avoid him. Shatter onto Val Rip. But does Lath have any damage? Got himself getting the beam onto Val. But is it going to be enough damage though? Big shield of Venus available for the Paladin. Lathrock is looking for a little bit of damage, a little bit of recovery, but mostly trying to see if he can just disintegrate down Val. Big Eternity Surge. Is there going to be another Fire Breath? Trying to see if he can cook up a big one. Going to be a lay on hands, but it's going to be able to be burned through very, very easily, very quickly. Trying to see if he can just claw right after him. Oh, big procs for Lathrocker. Does end up taking out the Paladin at the very, very end. My goodness, the beams actually do quite a bit of damage. Surprisingly, Zeded with two back-to-back did pretty well, but Reverence was able to obliterate his approach, but one stabby boy was able to just mince apart the Warlock, which is rough to see, man, because Warlocks are generally super tanky. Let's get ourselves another one going, boys. Yeah, Boris, Silver, Rev. I gotta get Rev back in here, I think, versus Boris, maybe?